What's up, party people? Android Stud here, and look what I have. I have the Essential PH1. That's right. In 2019, I wanted to talk about this device because you know what? This thing was a trendsetter when it came out. It was announced in May of 2017, released in August of 2017. As you guys all know, I started my channel with this phone, and to me, it's been awesome. It's been a cool device to have. Now, first up, go over a couple specs. It's running the Snapdragon 835 processor. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of onboard storage. Those are the highlights. And then on the back, you have the dual cameras, which has a black and white lens, and then the regular lens. You could do 4K on the back video. Also on the front, as you see there, it has one of the first notches, if you ask me, before Apple, maybe after Sharp. But as far as an Android phone, they were a trendsetter when it came to this notch, because as you all know, 2018 was the year of the notch, and it looks like 2019, we have the punch hole, we have the pinhole, we have the water drop, we have all kinds of notches. We have the hideous notch from the Pixel 3 XL, and also the ugly notch on the iPhone from 2018. Now, the front-facing camera is one of the few Android phones that has a front-facing 4K video camera, which is awesome. So if you ask me, that is one of the things that makes this phone kind of stand out from the rest. Now, as far as the body is concerned, you're looking at a ceramic back with titanium sides. Now, this phone is absolutely beautiful. It is a really, really nice device. Now, the ceramic doesn't hold up as good as I thought it would when I got it. I had the black, it got all scratched up. So the ceramic is not as durable as they make it seem. That's why I got the white. It's probably scratched up and we don't even know it. But that ceramic on this thing is absolutely beautiful. Now, the display is a 5.7-inch display, but it's all display. As you can see there, it's all display. Now, it's IPS LCD display. It has just short of 2K by just a few digits, if you ask me. But as far as the cameras, you get the 13 megapixel on the back, 8 megapixel on the front. Now, there's a couple quirks about this phone that in 2019, I will have to say, if they do drop an Essential Phone 2, they will have to improve. And the first thing they're gonna have to improve is the camera. Now, the camera app, for some reason, is just, they never updated it to be, I mean, they added a couple things here, some settings here and there, some features, portrait mode, front-facing flash, some other things they added to it. But if they could have just done a better job with the camera app, so it was a little more snappier, a little more responsive when you're taking pictures, and pictures at night are not very good. Now, one of the things that you can do is you could download the Google Camera app, which I have on this phone, and the pictures on here with the Google Camera app come out pretty darn good. If you ask me, some pictures of my dog hanging out outside, chilling in the trees, that kind of thing. So the Google Camera app does improve the experience. Now, you got the 4K video on the front-facing camera, like I said, which is just boss, if you ask me. And then the rear cameras, you have the 4K shooter, so that is pretty cool. Now, when it came to the Essential Phone, one of the cool things they had is the 360 camera that you could attach to the back of the phone. Now, one of the issues with it, I mean, it worked pretty good when you would take pictures, but when it would come to video, it would overheat at times. It was a little laggy when it came to doing some video. Really neat feature if you're gonna use it, very limited or short term, because when you would go live to YouTube or any of those things, then you would be in a little bit of a pickle when it came to being able to live stream. It would shut off on you. So it was a neat feature. It also was a little expensive when it came out. You know, you're looking at this accessory was at a price probably around almost over $100. It got a little cheaper when you would buy this with the phone in a bundle. Even later on, they had a little more affordable, under $50 if you wanted to pick this up later on. So, but I gotta give them it was a cool little accessory. It just, they didn't perfect the software. and everything else on it. Now, one of the other things that they had was the audio accessory that they had for it. It's called the Audio Adapter HD. Now, I thought this was kind of pointless to have, even if you wanted to buy it. It was a little expensive. Also, if you wanted to buy this, it's 149 bucks. To me, it's kind of a waste of money. It has the Type-C, and then this would add a, you know, a headphone jack, a regular headphone jack, the traditional headphone jack on it, so that you could charge your phone and also rock and roll at the same time. But to me, I thought it was a little, it's a great idea, just execution was kind of, I liked where Essential was going with some of their creative innovation, but with those two things, I'm not sure they hit the mark. Now, as far as the notch, one of the first, like I said, just a trendsetter. When you look at this device, it is just beautiful. Now, when you're using this on a day-to-day basis, it's just not, it's not where it's unusable. It's a really good one-handed phone, really good size. They did a good job designing this phone from Essential. Now, when it comes to software, I think they're one of the trendsetters there, because if you look today, I'm on Android version 9, Android Pie, and my security patch is February 2019. It's up to date. Now, does that make it better than a Samsung or an LG or a Huawei that is behind the times when it comes to updates? No, it does not. But you know what? You're gonna get updated, and they're still updating this phone. No word yet on the Essential Phone 2, if that's gonna come out, but if they were gonna improve something, is definitely the camera, definitely the screen. They should go to an AMOLED panel instead of this LCD. I like it, it looks nice on this phone, but if they had AMOLED, that would give the colors a little more punch to it. Now, the other thing that I have a problem with is my reception on here as far as T-Mobile is concerned. I wish the T-Mobile strength was better, because sometimes it'll drop out. Now, people on AT&T are not really having that problem, but I did notice that on T-Mobile, that's something they never really improved, was the signal from T-Mobile or the camera app on this phone. Now, as far as wireless charging, it does not have wireless charging. They could add that to the Essential Phone 2. That would be awesome. Also, IP6765, that is not on here, so you don't have that waterproofing that you would love to see on a phone. But I'm telling you, man, the Essential Phone in 2019, I would put it up against a lot of phones. Yeah, it doesn't have the Snapdragon 845 or even the 855 that a lot of devices are going to be dropping this year, but you know what? The Snapdragon 835 is no slouch, and at 4 gigabytes of RAM. Now, the software at times runs buttery smooth. There are times that there's a little hesitation here and there, but for the most part, it's rocking and rolling. Now, the speakers on this thing are pretty darn good too, so you have no issues there. Look, overall, it's just a boss device to use on an everyday basis. If you will really have no issues. If you were to pick this up for 200 bucks, I would highly recommend that you get this phone, because it's still boss. It's still a boss device. When it came out, it was $699, way too high. They dropped it to about $500. Then there were some deals that you could catch it at $350, $300. So if you could pick this up now for $200, $250, I would highly recommend it, man. I'm telling you right now, this phone is still very sexy, still very delicious. It has the rear fingerprint reader, no in-display fingerprint reader, but the fingerprint reader works very good, as you can see there. It works very fast. You have no issues when it comes to the fingerprint reader. And that's about it, man. Leave a comment down below if you have the Essential Phone, if you have any questions about it. What don't you like? What do you like? What have you experienced on the Essential Phone? But for me, it's been a very, very awesome device. I've really enjoyed using it. To me, I've had no issues with it. As you know, I've used this phone exclusively. Now, they dropped some colors on this phone. You can get the black, the white. They also got the ocean depth, black moon, pure white. Some of those are no longer available, but they did a great job on the colors on this device. I really like this white, and that's why I picked it up. But that's gonna do it, man. You can follow me on Twitter at Android Stud. Also follow me on Instagram at Android Stud. Please like this video if you like what you're seeing. Also leave a comment down below. If you want to be part of the party people, please do so. Join me on YouTube. Join the fam here, the party people. Subscribe to the channel, man. I'll let you know what's going on in the world of tech, the latest and greatest, and not so great from the world of tech. But that's gonna do it, man. I just wanted to kind of show off the Essential phone in 2019. And you know what? It's a trendsetter. I think it was one of the first to come out with that sexy little water drop notch, or whatever you want to call it, or little dimple, nimple, whatever you want to call it. That's gonna do it, man. The Essential phone in 2019, right here on Android Stud. Catch you guys later. Peace.